Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the United Regional Chamber of Commerce's weekly update. We're a day early today to fit into some folks' schedule, so we hope that you'll join us earlier today than we normally are at 2 o'clock. My guest today is Geoff McGehee from, well, he wears a bunch of hats, but he has started a wonderful group, the Attleboro S.W.A.T team, and we're going to bring Geoff on to tell you all about it, why he started it, and the tremendous benefit it has been for some of the local restaurants. So, Geoff, welcome.
Thank you, Jack, for having me.
This is just quite a unique little SWAT team that you had, but tell us a little bit. When did you start it?
Yeah, it started about the first week of January, so it's still pretty new. It actually was founded off of there was an article or a situation that happened in Norfolk where there was an actual SWAT team that had come out en masse to benefit a small coffee shop there in town. So you can picture, 50 guys in tactical gear, $100 bills. Yep, and they signed each guy came in, bought a cup of coffee, dropped $100 tip. Really just in support of that particular business. So underneath that article, a woman had posted, it'd be great if somebody put together a group to do something like this to help a new business each week. So, based on my background and experience, I knew I was probably that somebody because I've been running the farmers market social media for 9 years. I'm pretty familiar with the arena. So I put it together. Her name was Jennifer Thompson. Made her a co-admin, and really we just took it from there. Like we just started signing up all of our friends. They brought in their friends. It blew up pretty quickly amongst our two circles. She lives in Plainville, and and we just started kind of winging it at that point, right? So it was we did our first poll. We got our first businesses lined up. Chubb's Barbecue was the first company that we had signed up, and it's really just taken off from there.
Yeah, you've done a tremendous job, and I know that it originally started with just the local Attleboro area, but you've branched out to help a lot of the other small businesses. In the beginning, I know that you've focused on the restaurants, but I see as you're starting to evolve a little bit more. We see some other small businesses put up there on the polls. Tell us how you work the polls so people can understand.
Yeah, so it starts off with I throw out a nomination post, right? Because I need names to start the poll with, right? And so I take in the nominations. There's one right now that actually closes at noon, our current poll. But I take the nominations, and this time I had over 60, so I had to pare it down a little bit because it gets a little out of control when you're trying to figure out 3 businesses out of 60, right? So based off of what I've seen, what people are clamoring about from prior polls, and people are constantly throwing out ideas for different companies to support, I pare it down to 30, and then and then throw up a poll for a couple of days and let the people essentially pick the businesses, be it restaurant or retailer, that they'd like to support.
This is getting a little scary for you. It's almost turning into a full-time gig.
Yeah, tell me about it. But yeah, like you mentioned, we have other town. We have now there's a Rentham chapter. There's a Seekonk chapter that just opened 2 days ago, and there's talks of a Cumberland, Rhode Island one as well. So we're multi-state. Starting pretty quick, but each one, it requires some time, setting up the group and helping the person kind of understand, what to expect. But then hopefully,
I'm sure that you could probably use a little help with some of those groups as it expands a little bit.
Well, I mean, the other groups really won't be my domain. They'll be run by other folks in those towns. And then the one here in town, as it grows, I mean, Jen's been great. She helps moderate the group as well, and we have you get help, and help just kind of appears in different places, right? So we've got a photographer named Derek Cameron, his business itself was impacted pretty hard by COVID, and he stepped up to start taking pictures. He does like some nice, real high quality pictures of the owners, the establishment, the food, or what have you. And that's been pretty successful in terms of like generating engagement with the group, and people are really happy about it.
And didn't I see doesn't he do some drone shots too?
Yeah, he's a drone photographer as well. So yeah, he took a shot of Mac and Walt. So he'll do some. He did that really cool shot of Tex Berry downtown as well.
Yes.
If I had that drone, it probably would have crashed into Morin's. So he's pretty good with that. And so like that, this is going to become a recurring part of the group as well, which is really, really nice. Adds value, adds obviously, as much promotion as these guys can get, as much, when you meet the owners, you realize it's just your neighbors, living out their dreams, running these businesses. So
that's right.
Makes it much more real, I think.
It has been a tremendous help. I've spoken to a couple of the restaurants that you have supported so far. And one reported that, they got a 40% increase that week, and it is continued, since that you've given them the promotion and given people the opportunity to support each of these small businesses. Because, as you said a few minutes ago, these are our friends. These are our neighbors. That are trying to live out their dream. They're trying to make their businesses work and support the local communities here in Attleboro. The small businesses are the heart of all of our communities. And, they are the majority of the employers, especially in our area. But, Geoff, tell us a little bit. You have been involved with the most successful farmers market in the state of Massachusetts since its beginning. I know you and I met the first time when the Chamber of Commerce gave Heather and Eddie Persons of the Year for being so successful with that farmers market. But you're kind of the team in the background. Tell us a little bit.
Yeah, I'm definitely the background guy for sure. The computer geek that sits in the back. And it's kind of like what I do for work too. I'm the computer geek that nobody knows until something goes wrong, right? But
right. And then it's all your fault.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I did I was in charge of the marketing essentially of the farmers market. Like you mentioned, since day one, I started the group. I was there with Heather, Eddie, Dave LaFerrier, Virginia Stewart was there as well, and my girlfriend was on the board as well. So Vicky May. So we were a pretty tight knit group, and my role was getting people there, right? So running the social media campaigns, the Google ads, that type of stuff, things to continually drive foot traffic. So that's I would sit there at the market, judging, looking at the counts, judging it, kicking myself the next day if counts didn't meet expectations, and going back to the drawing board.
You can't take that on you, Geoff. You just can't take that on yourself.
That's my personality. But it was a great team to work with, and we certainly grew the market together, and brought it to heights that we probably couldn't have imagined back in 2010.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this past year, because of the COVID, I know that things were cut way back at the market. You were restricted a little bit by the health department on some things that could be done. But as things start to, people get vaccinated and things are starting to open up, I hope to see that the market, gets back up to what it was a year or two ago, because I used to go and get fresh vegetables and all the other stuff that is there. But let's go back to the SWAT team. It seems that you've got quite a following. I think you're up over 2,000 followers now.
Like 2,600 now. Yep. When I did the piece, NBC 10 in Providence did a piece on me, and then the Chronicle did a piece, and at that point things really, we went from 1,500 to 2,500 almost in no time, and then it just keeps. Every day I look at it, I'm like, wow, I can't believe it's still going like this, But it really gives us a lot more leverage, the ability to really push the needle, I think, for some of these businesses, because my expectation is, maybe 10-15% of people within the group will show up to any given week, but. And at $50 a pop, we could be bringing in 10, 15, hopefully $20,000 incremental sales
Absolutely.
for that week. And I'm also looking at some different ways maybe to help these companies push the needle too, whether it be through. I spoke to a small crowdsourced funding company that's just started up in Norfolk too, and talking to some different organizations, maybe ways that the community can rally around these businesses, help them with other forms of marketing and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we have a similar page at the chamber, but I've referred an awful lot of people over to your SWAT team page. There seems to be an awful lot of coverage, a lot of people involved, many photographs put up almost every day of people stopping into those businesses, and that is really giving the local businesses a huge boost. And
totally. Arthur from Tex-Berry literally sold out of hot dogs.
Yes, he did. He did.
I refer to that as the great Attleboro hot dog fan of 2021. That's my goal. I want every place to sell out. So I finally did it. I was very happy.
And I know that Chubb Barbecue, they ran out too.
They did great. I mean, they were the first company, so everyone there was a lot of anticipation going into that, and also we were just trying to figure out how it was going to work as well, right? So, they were the guinea pig. Amy Diaz, her husband, she and her husband run the restaurant, but she's does a lot of social media stuff, and she was great, and she remains great. Like she's involved in every one of our mission. But each week when we have a new business, we call it our SWAT mission. She's usually the first one to show up, take the picture, keep promoting this type of activity. So it's been great.
One of the really great things is I've noticed, not only with Amy, but Kim Canova over there, the other restaurant owners are going and supporting those restaurants that you feature each week.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's great. I couldn't ask for anything more.
Absolutely. It has been such a huge boost. Everybody's moaning and groaning about this COVID, and we've been stuck inside. Hopefully we're seeing a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, but you have certainly shown a big spotlight on the local businesses in the Attleboro area, and we really commend you for that. What can we do to help you?
I really just spread the word. If you're part of the group, invite people you think that might be interested as well to the group. Obviously, check out each location as they come up on the week. Make it their mission. Share that type of stuff, because that's one of the things we don't necessarily think about when we go to a restaurant. Take a picture of our food. It might seem like a small act at the time, but when you multiply it times 100 people doing it at the time, it becomes a marketing barrage. So
absolutely,
the power is really in the group, and I think that's what gets people excited, because we're all sitting around looking for ways to help these guys, right? I dine out probably 2-3 times a week and go to as many small places as I can, but you never feel like you're moving the needle, right? So now we have this group that wields the ability to really come in and make a difference, and I think that's what drives a lot of that incrementality, right? So people are going in, they're shopping more, they're eating out more, they're spending more, they feel empowered to give bigger tips to the wait staff, that type of thing. So everything kind of just keeps rolling along this way.
And not just the owners, but the servers and the cooks and everybody that helps you with the restaurant, they're our friends and neighbors too. So as you just mentioned, when you go in, make sure you do leave a tip, even though it's takeout. They still have to work. They're working behind the scenes, and it's how we can support them so they stay strong enough to remain open, throughout this pandemic, and hopefully for many, many years after that. Geoff, is there anything else that we can include in this to help you or help the SWAT team? No,
again, at this point, just spread the word and shop low. It doesn't you don't have to support just particularly our SWAT team. Support your small businesses. This is really an impetus to help, to get people to go out and do that. But obviously, just get out there, shop local, and keep it up, because it's been quite a ride so far.
Well, we can't thank you enough. I know that you actually have a real job that you have to do on a regular basis.
Yeah, I might switch both laptops as we speak. Of course, people are pinging me on the other side too.
Well, I know from one of the largest business organizations in the area that we truly appreciate all the efforts that you've done. Speaking to these restaurants, they can't thank you enough. Honestly, Geoff, there's already been a call out to give you our Person of the Year award.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to be talking about that soon.
All right.
As we start to get back with our regular groups and things like that.
I can show off in front of Heather now I'm part of the exclusive club. Yeah, right? maybe she'll invite me over now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
No, probably not.
But Geoff, thank you very much for jumping in with me for a few minutes here today. We're going to broadcast this out as well. Hopefully we can get folks to jump on the one in Greater Attleboro and Rentham and Seekonk. And I'm sure that this is going to morph into a couple of other areas because this is what we need. We need to support our friends and neighbors who run these small businesses.
Absolutely.
So, Geoff McGehee, thank you very much for joining us today. Dave, again, at AACS, who's always wonderful with us and does our show. I know it's just, a few minutes out of your day, but if you can join us and help all these local restaurants and small businesses, this is how we're going to keep our economy strong. And thank you once again for joining us here for the United Regional Chambers update. We really appreciate it. And everybody stay safe.